tonight's class is called The Expansion of Mind and Exchanging of Talents. I'm going to say it again. The expansion of mind and exchanging of talents. Who know what talents mean biblically? Like what that's going into? All right, Hakeem, what you got?
Shalom, Cap. So biblically, talents was going to like currency or money, like a certain amount of money.
Currency, exactly. So everybody, let's keep that in mind, all right? So this class right here is going to be one of them complex but basic, deep basic. Pay attention. Everything come full circle to one of them type of classes because I'm going a lot of places, but it's all going to come together. All right? All right, so let's stay focused. Let's take good notes. And now let's get edified. All right, let's open up with Proverbs 29 and verse 18. So again, the title is The Expansion of Mind and Exchanging of Talents. Let's read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Right, so the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. Do we want to perish? Hell no. So what's needed in order for us not to perish? Vision. The opposite of perish is to thrive, to grow, to live, to expand. You understand? But if there's no vision, the people will perish. All right? And read the rest of it.
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
And we got to read that because there is no vision without the law. Because you got people in the world that, like our people did the Black Wall Street and many other things like that. Marcus Garvey, you understand? He had a hell of a vision, but it lacked the laws of God. So we got to make sure we understand what's entailed in the vision that the scripture is speaking of, right? But let's get the definition of vision, because vision on a surface level would just mean sight, right? Like if somebody losing a vision, they got to go get glasses, da-da-da. That ain't what the scripture is talking about, all right? It's talking about something deeper than that. So read number 2. Where no vision is, the people perish. Read that for us.
Vision. The ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom.
So the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. So notice how in the definition it used the word think and imagination, plan, future, right? Basically going into your mind, right? And also think about vision. If you cut all the lights off, you don't have no vision. You can't see. You understand? So light is associated with vision, which is associated with your mind. All right? So light is associated with vision, which is associated with your mind, because it involves thinking, planning, imagining. You understand? Read the synonyms. Watch this.
Imagination. Creativity. Creative power.
Creative power. You see that word? Power is power in vision. That's why without it, the people perish. They don't got no power. They don't got no power to build nothing, to establish nothing. You understand? To develop anything. They don't have the power to create. You saw what that coon nigga, that coon pastor nigga said. He said, white people create, black people destroy.
Come on now, dog.
Now, he a nigga coon, you know what I'm saying? Chocolate covered white man, but that's what the scripture said. Where no vision is, the people perish. It's not that we're incapable of creating, but we don't have the vision coupled with the laws of God. Therefore, it's not manifested as yet. You understand? So, read the synonyms real quick.
Inventiveness, innovation, inspiration, intuition, perceptiveness, perception, breadth of view, foresight.
So remember that word breadth of view. Breadth is going into like the circumference type thing. You know what I'm saying? So breadth of view, not breath like ha, right? But breath. I can't see it. Whatever. Y'all see it. Go ahead.
Foresight.
Foresight, going into the future, right? You seeing something that ain't there yet. You see it though. It ain't there, but you see it in front of you. Go ahead.
Insight. Farsightedness.
Farsightedness. I like that one. Farsightedness. This is what the so-called white man has worked so hard to destroy within the minds of the black man and black woman. We're not farsighted at all. We can't see past income tax time. For real. I'm telling you. The God honest truth. And that's why we perish. We get all them black people get all them thousands at the same time, and at the same time. How the hell it should be little black Wall Street just boop, 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 just every damn round, every March. You understand? But no, because we don't think that far. We thinking new car. You know what I'm saying? We thinking new furnished bedroom set. You know what I'm saying? New J's.
What?
Yeah, we thinking, we don't. Go ahead.
Pressing.
All right, you get off of that. So now, go to Deuteronomy 28:28. This is why we do not have vision as a people, right? Watch this. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness.
So madness is going into mental illness, right? Which deals with a lot of different things. Because, Baruch, we in school for psychology. You understand? So you can get an in-depth view of the intricate details in the traumas that impact our mental capacity and our outlook and our viewpoints in life, and especially towards one another in relationships. You understand? It's madness. It's madness. All right? God said he was going to smite us with that. And what?
And blindness.
And that ain't talking about everybody going to be walking around Ray Charles. It's going to be a bifocal epidemic. That ain't what God talking about. This blindness is talking about a spiritual blindness, a lack of vision, no farsightedness, no intuition, no inspiration, no innovation. You understand? Blindness. Go ahead.
And astonishment of heart.
And astonishment of heart. Now this heart ain't talking about the organ that pump blood. Give me that real quick. Give me Proverbs 23 verse 7. Let's see what that heart is. Read that.
The book of Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
For as he thinketh in his heart.
Stop. Can you think in this?
Hell no.
Your thoughts are formulated in your mind. So what is the Bible talking about when it's talking about the heart? It's talking about your mind. So when it says the Lord would smite us with astonishment of mind, that's going into confusion. You understand? You're going to have, basically, you can look at the black man and black woman, especially, you deal with different history and stuff like that. And even today, you got different scholars and, people that go to certain lengths in American society. And it's like, we have major potential. You understand? However, is something is off. Something is spiritually off. And it's that astonishment of heart. It's a confusion. When you get to a certain level of success, you lose sight of color. The light that you see is the great white light. The great white. You understand? Now you want to surround yourself with white folks.
Damn.
You understand? For real. It's an astonishment of heart, an astonishment of mind. It's either you at the bottom, in the midst of all your people in the projects in the ghetto, killing each other, selling drugs to each other, stealing from each other, just being each other's worst enemy, or you're successful in this world and you far as hell as you could possibly be away from your people. You understand? It's an astonishment of heart. Astonishment of mind. All right? We was cursed with that. That's what we're coming out of. That's the current state of our people in the world right now and where we came from before we repented. Now give me 2nd Ezra chapter 14. 2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 34. This is what we are doing. I would say some of us have done per se, and most of us are in the process of doing. And what a lot of our people have yet to do. All right, they're still in the world, but this is what they must do. Read what you got.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 34.
Go ahead.
Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive.
So the Lord said we must subdue our own understanding. Subdue, basically, the understanding that you have, the astonishment of heart that you've been cursed with, that you've been smitten with. You got to kill that. You got to destroy that. You got to destroy the old man, your old way of thinking. You must subdue your understanding and what?
Ye shall be kept alive.
No. Subdue your understanding. What's after that?
And reform your hearts.
Thank you. Reform your hearts. What's your heart? Your mind. So you went from a curse. Literally, we read in Deuteronomy 28, our mind was cursed. Right. So you come from a cursed mind where you hate your people, you hate yourself. Now you learning the complete opposite. It's reformed in Christ, in the wisdom of God. You understand? The proper understanding. We must do that. That's a must. That has to happen, considering that we all had cursed minds. If you're an Israelite, now if you're a heathen, I don't know. But if you're an Israelite, that's what we've all dealt with. Go to Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17.
The book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
So this scripture is not talking about heathens. When it say walk not as other Gentiles walk, he's talking to the northern kingdom Israelites in Ephesus that are repenting contrary to those that have yet to repent. So you don't walk as other lost Negroes, lost Hispanics. That's what he's saying, right? And yeah, that's the message to us today. You understand? Hell, we Ephesus, we the Ephesians. We're not to walk as the other people of our same race and nationality walk, in the vanity of their mind.
Message.
Vanity is going into meaningless, unprofitableness, no purpose, but something that pleases you. You understand? So in the vanity of our people's mind, they can accumulate millions of dollars, millions of followers, real estate property, all type of, you know what I'm saying? The avenues and networks and connections. You see all type of stuff on YouTube nowadays. A bunch of bald head black men talking about the manosphere and high value and blah, 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 blah. But it's all in the vanity of their mind. They not nation building. They not revolutionary. You understand? God is not calling us to walk as them. Read on.
Having the understanding darkened.
Because their understanding is darkened. This is going back to the vision. When a room is darkened, there's no vision. Like a scary movie, if you're in a dark room and the damn killer on the loose, you gonna die. You ain't gonna be able to avoid the reaper. You understand? So that's the state of our people, and that's what we coming out of, right? Our people in us, we had our understanding darkened. Read.
Being alienated from the life of God.
We was alienated from the life of God. Our life consisted of sports. Our life consisted of just hanging out, just chilling, smoking weed every day, going to work, coming home from work, drinking a beer and going to sleep.
Bug the hell.
You understand? For real. We was alienated from the life of God. You understand? Even though we was going to church. Ain't that crazy? We was going to church every Sunday and we had zero connection to God, bruh. Literally. Like the wisdom, the fruits of the spirit, when you really think about it and examine it, like love, joy, peace, meekness. We didn't have none of that.
Right.
You understand? We did not, bro. We was alienated from the life of God. Come on.
Being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them.
Right. Through the indoctrination, through the media, through the narratives pushed on our people, so on and so forth. We was ignorant to the truth. And many of our people still are. But a lot of them choose to be. All right, go ahead.
Because of the blindness of their heart.
Because of the what?
Because of the blindness of their heart.
Because of that curse. You understand? Deuteronomy 28:28. Because they smitten with blindness. And they haven't repented to unlock the ability to break that curse. You understand? So the blindness of our people's mind. All right? We can't continue to walk. We can't continue to have that blinded heart. And how can you come into the truth and still have blindness of heart? Nothing basically, a lot of brothers and sisters convert their Sunday to Saturday. Just like how you lived your everyday life, you did what you wanted to do, you was all about self, you, the immediate family, whatever, and you went to church on Sunday. That's the only time you congregated and got around other people. You understand? For what you thought was righteousness' sake, was a couple of hours out of the week on one day. A lot of brothers and sisters have done nothing but convert that to Saturday. Damn. Period. Only difference is you put on a certain attire. You understand? That's it. You don't come as you are. You understand? But you really do. You come as a damn mind, understanding, darkened. You understand? You still coming as a Gentile because you're not reformed yet. You understand? So now you got to put it into perspective, right? You got brothers, because you got to think what grabs us to really understand the depth of this truth. Like, it's not only just believing in Christ. Through believing in Christ, Israel is able to unite. Hence, Israel united in Christ. So we're learning our nationality. Root word of nationality is nation, right? So how can you come into the truth, learning your true nationality that Christ died for you to return back to, and still not be still be individual minded? You understand? Only out for self, only trying to please. Your mindset is you. You understand? The vision is not there. The vision is not there yet. And that's why a lot of us don't grow in this truth like we should. A lot of us are stagnant. A lot of us fall off. A lot of us fall more than we should because we still really haven't found the light. All right, read verse 19.
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
Who being past filling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness.
All right, so who being past filling. So this goes for every last one of us, right? Past filling. Now, what I want you, go to chapter 2, verse 2. I go over this a lot. What I want y'all to see is in the scripture that we read, it said, understanding darkened. Then it said blindness of their heart. So remember, light is associated with vision, vision associated with the mind. All right? It all links together. So watch this. Ephesians 2, verse 2.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 2.
Yeah.
Wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air.
So think about it like this, right? It says, we walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air. Who is the prince of the power of the air? Satan, right? Okay. Think about it like this. Let's say you was really legally blind, or you had on a blindfold, right? And somebody grab your hand, and they leading you, and they holding your hand, and they're leading you, right? You blind, you can't see. You just gonna follow the person that got your hand. You understand? For him to have legs or whatever and walking and have sight that you don't have, and for that person to have your hand, then they're not walking into some type of pit, right? No, that's not the case. Guess who was holding our hand while we was blindfolded all these damn years? The damn devil. We all had that blindfold. We all had our hand held by Satan. We was all guided through life by the devil himself.
The devil!
Because we had no vision. You understand? Now read on.
The spirit that now...
And that's why... Keep reading, watch this.
The spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
So the same spirit that worked in the King Vons, the damn the drillers, the killers, the twerkers, the abortioners, all the wickedness, the wicked, we walked according to that same, we held that same hand. You understand? That same spirit was in us. Luckily, the Lord scooped you out when he did. Because there ain't no telling what you would have been done by now. You understand? Because that same spirit that's in these wicked niggas and these wicked hoes was in you. You had the blindfold on just like they got it. You understand? Read verse 3.
Among whom also we all had our conversation in times past.
That's the proof. Read.
In the lust of our flesh. Fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind.
And of the mind. But what mind? The blind mind. You understand? The mind with no vision. The darkened mind. You understand? We were fulfilling. What the hell does that mean? How do you fulfill the desires of a dark mind? You do dark shit. You understand? That's why excuse my language. That's why we was wicked as hell, bruh. I'm telling you. We was hell bent on fulfilling the desires of our wicked mind. That's why we was stabbing each other in the back. That's why we was cheating on our women. That's why sisters was cheating on their man. You understand? So on and so on. The list goes on. That's why we was doing all that. Because we was fulfilling the desires of our darkened minds. Go ahead.
And were by nature the children of wrath, even as others.
Just like the millennium monsters that you see today, Generation Zombie, we was on the same path. We was cut from that same cloth until, read verse 1.
Verse 1.
Go ahead.
And you hath he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins.
So until we was quickened, we were those zombies. We was walking blindfolded with our hands held by the devil until we were quickened. What does quicken mean? To be made alive. For our hearts to be reformed. You understand? Revived. Right? And it says, who were dead in trespasses and sins. So it's telling you that you've been made alive, meaning by walking in the commandments, because your sins is what had you spiritually dead, discharged, disconnected from God. But now you got plugged in by Christ. You understand? Just like when a phone is dead and you plug that junk in, the charger, Christ is the charger. You understand? God the Father is the outlet. Christ is the plug. When we plug in, the phone dead. You plug in, then you see that junk light up. That's what the scripture's saying. That's what happened to us. Now watch this. Go to John 6:63 about the quickening. All right? Read that.
The book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63.
Come on.
It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
So it's the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. Obviously, what did we do in our flesh? The greatest that we was able to do was build things just for them to get destroyed. You understand? The flesh profits nothing. It's the spirit that quickeneth. Because we are spiritual beings. We are from heaven. You understand? Our true capability in potential is far beyond the human spectrum. You understand? We just don't know because we didn't had it. We couldn't see. We wasn't farsighted to see that far. You understand? But that's really what it is. Read it again.
It is the spirit that quickens.
So until you get the spirit, you would never see that far. You'll never be that farsighted. All right? Our people think they farsighted by learning how to invest in stocks and bonds. A damn IRA account, the generational wealth. That's what niggas in the world think farsighted is. So once you get the spirit, it brings you to life. It quickens you. Go ahead.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
Uh-huh.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
So just in case you didn't know what the spirit was, it's the word of God. It's this Bible. Right? Once you keep the commandments, you get the understanding thereof, and you come to life. All right? You're enlightened. Get that. Well, get Hebrews 4:12 first. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. So it says, we were quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins. And we just read it's the spirit that quickeneth. The words of God are spirit. Read what you got.
The book of Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
For the word of God is quick.
So when it says the word of God is quick, it ain't talking about like Jet Li, like, whoo. You know what I'm saying? That's what people be thinking. Like, damn, he put that precept fast. The word of God is quick. No. It's not talking about speed. It's talking about the ability to make alive. You understand? The word of God has the ability, it possesses the power to quicken a soul, a dead soul. That's what it's saying. The word of God is what?
For the word of God is quick and powerful.
And powerful. Come on.
And sharper than...
Do we really consider that? Like, because we all got Bibles, right? Some of us read them. Damn. But, like, do we really think how powerful this book is? It's so powerful that they went to great lengths to destroy it, to whitewash it, to rewrite it, to, you know what I'm saying?
Message.
Because it's very, very powerful. It's so powerful that despite their attempts to destroy it, somehow it still ended up being the most popular and published book in the earth. It's just so damn powerful. You understand? Because it possesses the power to bring to life those dead bodies that line the street of the great city, the valley of dry bones. It possesses the power to quicken them and cause them to stand up an exceeding great army. The great phenomenon. You understand? So, read again.
For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword.
So think about it, right? It's able to make, it's telling you, it's able to make alive, it's quick and powerful, yet sharper than any two-edged sword. What you use a sword for? A sharp sword for? To kill. You understand? To kill. So the Bible is able to kill that old man, to destroy, to subdue that cursed mind and bring you to life, to quicken you. You understand? Read again.
For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword.
Go ahead.
Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
Y'all ain't never read a book that penetrate that deep. For real, you read a scripture and it sit in your soul all day, all week. You understand? That's how powerful the word, and only the word of God is. Go ahead.
And of the joints and marrow. And is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Of the what?
Of the heart.
Of the heart, meaning the mind. The Bible is the tool to rebuild, replenish, and revive the black man and black woman and Hispanic man and Hispanic woman's mind. You understand? That's what this scripture is telling us. The Bible is that tool. It's going to kill that nigga. It's going to kill that spick. And it's going to raise up that God. It's going to raise up that daughter of Sarah. You understand? That the white man thought he buried way deep under American soil. You understand?
Right.
For real, though. Now, get Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. Baruch chapter 4, verse 1.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Come on.
This is the book of the commandments of God,
Uh-huh.
and the law that endureth forever.
Read.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
So if you keep these laws, you're going to come to life. You're going to be quickened because that's what the word of God is able to do. Come on.
But such as leave it
But if you leave God's laws, which we did, read,
shall die.
and that's what happened. We perish because where no vision is, the people perish. You understand? Now watch this. Verse 2.
Turn thee, O Jacob,
Turn thee, O Jacob, O Israelites. Go ahead.
and take hold of it.
And take heed of it. Do you ever say hold? Damn, mine say heed. Same thing. Take hold heed of. Take hold heed of. Go ahead.
Walk in the presence of the light thereof.
Do what?
Walk in the presence of the light thereof.
Of the light. Hold on. So, Ephesians 2:2. We walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, who's also called the prince of darkness. You understand? You had that blindfold on. You was walking in the pitch black with him leading your hand until the laws of God lit the room up. Now you're like, hold on, nigga, you the damn devil. You understand? For real. That God said, walk in the presence of the light thereof, so you can what?
That thou mayest be illuminated.
So you can become lit. God want us to be lit. For real. God said, hey, you want to be lit? Walk in the law. You understand? You want to be lit. So you notice how verse 1 says life, and then verse 2 says illuminated. So, again, light, vision, mind, life. Darkness, no vision, no understanding, wickedness, death. It's that simple. All right, now watch this. Get Ephesians chapter 1, verse 17. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 17.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 17.
Come on.
That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him.
Because it's the spirit that quickeneth. Now notice what come with this spirit was coming through the with this cord. This is what's coming through the cord. All right, Christ the block. This was coming through the cord. It's a it's a wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him. So your mind is being charged with knowledge, with wisdom. No more sports, no more wicked, no more, whatever the hell we were charging our minds up with in the world when we was led by Satan. Our minds are now being charged with the knowledge and the wisdom and the revelation of him. Go ahead.
The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
Being what?
Being enlightened.
Being lit up, being illuminated. The eyes of your understanding. The eyes of your understanding. So it ain't talking about your literal pupils. It's talking about the eyes of your brain, the eyes of your mind. Your mind has eyes. That's where the second definition of vision comes from. That's why it says creative power, foresight, the planning the future, because your mind has eyes. The white man, this society rocked your brain to sleep. You know what they call sleep shut-eye. So we've been brain dead all the time. You understand? Now the eyes of our minds are enlightened through the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures. Go ahead.
That ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints.
The inheritance in the saints, because that's who we are. Now watch this. Matthew 13:31. So this scripture right here. We gonna do a lot of this thing got levels. This thing is really on every level. This thing right here is on every level. All right, Matthew 13:31.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 31. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds.
All right. So the kingdom of heaven is like unto a mustard seed. To keep that in mind, a mustard seed. Read again.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field.
Read.
Which indeed is the least of all seeds.
It's the least of all seeds. Come on.
But when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs.
And when it is grown, it's the greatest among herbs. Go ahead.
And becometh a tree.
And becometh a what?
A tree.
So one of the strongest, most nutritious, one of the most prevalent existing things on earth are trees. Yes, right. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And it started from a little bitty seed. And you know what that seed had to do before anything grew? All right, read on.
So that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof.
All right, so now watch this. Go to Job 8, verse 7. Job chapter 8, verse 7. See, this is where y'all got to hold on to the steering wheel. All right? Job 8, verse 7.
The book of Job, chapter 8, verse 7.
Come on.
Though thy beginning was small.
Though thou what?
Though thy beginning was small.
Though thy beginning was small. Like a little mustard seed, right? Go ahead.
Yet thy latter end should greatly increase.
Like a great big strong tree where the birds come in and lodge, right? Go ahead.
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
So why, after it mentions you started small, it ended up great, it says because for is not starting a new thought. You understand? It's carrying on from the thought of starting the least and becoming great. For inquire of your fathers, because that's the story of your forefathers. That ain't history, that's your story. You understand? Your story. For real though. So you gotta inquire, make a diligent search. Read that verse again.
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
So you can examine once you understand and know who your fathers are. Don't see, that's why Christianity, you know, it's a demonic religion. Because if it's in the Bible, what the hell is wrong with me seeking out my nationality? Why is that opposed? Why is that God love all and that don't matter and blah, blah, blah. You know it's of the damn devil. You understand?
What the hell is this?
Because what does this scripture mean? How am I going to become great? How am I going to start from the bottom and become the damn tree that reached the sky? How am I going to do that if I don't inquire of my forefathers? Because that's the instruction of God. So now go to Genesis 12, verse 1. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. The expansion of mind. Going into vision. All right? Come on.
Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1.
Read.
Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred.
So now, Abram, our forefather, he was in his country with his kindred. Just like we was. You understand? We was in our neighborhood, community, whatever, amongst our kinfolks before we learned anything about the Israelite Bible commandments, right? Abram was the same way. But the Lord said, what? Read it again.
Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee.
So I got something greater in store. This is nothing. Now, was Abram poor? Hell no.
Hell no.
Abram was not poor. Abram's family was not poor. You understand? But God said, I got something better than this. Expand your mind. You understand? See beyond this. This is nothing. Watch this. Come on.
And I will make of thee a great nation.
I'm going to make of thee. This is one man, one individual. The Lord said, I'm going to make of thee a what?
A great nation.
So you're going to start, mind you, its nations already established. The nations that came from Ham, from Japheth. You understand? Who Abram was related to, Aram, that was Syria. That was already established, right? The Lord said of thee, you're just one man now. Of thee, I'm going to make a great nation. Go ahead.
And I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
Come on.
And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
The birds gonna come and lodge on your branches. Come on.
So Abram departed, as the
So
Lord.
Abram what?
So Abram departed.
Nah, he was like, hold on, man. What? Oh, no, you got to show me what you talking about. You got a great land and all this. What the hell? I'm going to leave my hut, my family, my village, my kinfolk, and all this I got going. And is that what he said?
So Abram departed.
He did what?
So Abram departed.
Abram got the hell up and got moving. Because he had to be like, okay, I see. Watch, y'all finna see. Watch this. Come on.
As the Lord had spoken unto him.
Uh-huh.
And Lot went with him.
Read.
And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
Right. So you damn senior citizen brothers act like you can't get up off your ass. Abram got up off his ass. Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
And Abram took Sarah, his wife,
Come on.
and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came.
Right. So now watch this. Go to Hebrews 11 and 8. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 8. Watch this.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 8.
Come on.
By faith, Abraham.
By what?
By faith.
Now, hold on. What is faith? Read verse 1.
Verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So, y'all remember the definition of vision, right? Vision is not surface level is what you see out of your eyes. But the actual meaning concerning the mental is the ability to imagine. When you imagining something, you see it, but not in the physical. It's beyond the physical space, but you see it. That's faith. Faith is vision. It's synonymous. You understand? So read verse 8.
Verse 8.
Come on.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance,
Like we just read in Genesis 12, read.
obeyed.
He what?
Obeyed.
Nah, he had, he had an attitude.
Obeyed.
He had some opposition.
Obeyed.
He obeyed. He listened. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And he went out not knowing whither he went.
And he didn't know where the hell he was going, but he knew that it was where he needed to go. Watch this. Keep reading.
By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country,
Read.
dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
Watch this.
For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God.
This scripture is so heavy. That's the vision. That's where our mind got to expand. Listen, we have no idea what that looks like until we really read this book with the enlightened eyes. Then we start to get an idea. We go through the process of getting the idea of what this looks like. That's the vision we're all laboring to establish as one. We're not here to seek another Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're not here to seek a damn Rosewood. We understand that we are literally out of this world. We strangers and pilgrims in this earth. This is really supposed to be one of our little toys type. A little vacation spot, a little timeshare. You understand? Our city that we're meant to rule in, that we're meant to dwell in, is not made by hands. It's not made by Edomite slaves. It's made whose builder and maker is God. Just think about how your mind. Now, this we reading about Abraham. Don't forget that. This is your forefather, thousands of years ago. Did I just blow the speaker? Okay, I'm sorry. Thousands of years ago, this was your forefather. This how far his mind was able to expand, and he was riding camels and donkeys. You understand?
Hey.
Now. Watch it. Go to First Chronicles. Now we're going to jump in history. First Chronicles 28, verse 2. The expansion of mind. All right? First Chronicles 28, verse 2.
The book of First Chronicles, chapter 28, verse 2. Then David the king stood up upon his feet and said, Hear me, my brethren, and my people. As for me, I had in mine heart to build an house of rest for the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and for the footstool of our God, and had made ready for the building.
Right, so David had the vision. He said, I'm going to build a house for the Lord to store the ark of the covenant, to be God's footstool. I'm going to build that giant. He had the vision. Go ahead.
But God said unto me, Thou shalt not build an house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war, and hast shed blood.
Right, you got a lot of enemies and stuff, David. Go ahead.
Howbeit the Lord God of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever.
Go ahead.
For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler.
Read that again.
For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler.
Just in case you forgot. It is what it is. Go ahead.
And of the house of Judah, the house of my father. And among the sons of my father he liked me, to make me king over all Israel.
Come on.
And of all my sons.
Read.
For the Lord hath given me many sons. He hath chosen Solomon my son to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel.
Right, so he chose Solomon to sit on the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel. So that we finna read into when the kingdom was established in the earth once upon a time with our people, with our forefathers. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts. For I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father.
All right.
Moreover, I will establish his kingdom forever.
All right.
If he be constant to do my commandments and my judgments as at this day.
Come on.
Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the congregation of the Lord, and in the audience of our God, keep and seek for all the commandments of the Lord your God, that ye may possess this good land, and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever.
Read.
And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy father,
Read.
and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind.
The willing mind. Don't forget that. A willing mind. Read.
For the Lord searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever.
So David admonishing his son. Read.
Take heed now, for the Lord hath chosen thee to build an house for the sanctuary. Be strong and do it.
Go ahead.
Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch.
So he gave his son the vision. Look, this is the what the architects call it? What's that? The blueprint. This the blueprint, right? This is the sketch. Read.
And of the houses thereof, and of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner parlors thereof,
Read.
and of the place of the mercy seat,
Read.
and the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit.
Wait a minute. So where did he get this vision from? That's the same spirit that's within that. Y'all know that, right? So this architecture, this great, you understand, it came by the Spirit of the Lord, right? Now, keep reading.
And by the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit of the courts of the house of the Lord, and of all the chambers round about, of the treasuries of the house of God, and of the treasuries of the dedicated things.
Now watch this. Go to 1 Kings 3, verse 5. So we read about David having a vision, which was by the Spirit of the Lord to build the house of the Lord, right? But the Lord chose his son to bring it to fruition. Now watch this.
1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 5. In Gibeon the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, thou hast showed unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day.
Come on.
And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father. And I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in.
Read.
And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart.
So hold on. Now that verse 8, that wouldn't have been the case if it wasn't for Abraham having a vision and obeying what the Lord told him and getting, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that's a sidebar. So now verse 9, Solomon acknowledges the vast multitude of the Israelites. So he says, because remember the Lord said, ask what you want, I give you, right? So this is what he came up with to ask of God. Read.
Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart.
A what?
An understanding heart.
An understanding heart, an understanding mind. Think about that. Because the reason why we gotta, all right. Think about the average Negro today. Your daddy was rich. He had all type of, you know what I'm saying, accolades and built all type of thing and set you up, provided you with all type of, you know, gave you an inheritance to do something with it. The average Negro, his mind is going to be more geared towards enjoying the fruits of his father's labors. You know what I'm saying? Running through the sack. For real though. You know, every now and then you get, you know, people who want to build on their father's foundation, but you rarely see, you know, a Negro taking his inheritance to new lengths because he lacks the vision. He lacks the mental, you know what I'm saying, the foresight. So Solomon, he understands, he see the great sea of people that he has to rule, and he knows the tools that his father has provided for him. And he say, Lord, give me a mind to know what to do with all this. You understand? Give me the vision. That's what Solomon is praying for. Watch this.
Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people.
To be able to judge your people. Go ahead.
That I may discern between good and bad.
That I may discern between good and bad. Because he's thinking long term. If he's able to judge the people righteously, to solve, to, you know, be able to detect evil and get rid of it and so on and so forth, that's how the kingdom is going to be established. That's how longevity, you understand, will be manifested. So that's how he's approaching this. Lord, I need a mind to be able to judge these people correctly. Right? Watch this.
For who is able to judge this thy so great a people?
Come on.
And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing.
Go ahead.
And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life.
So then the typical Negro, they be, oh, man, hey, God, I want to live be 1,000. Go ahead.
Neither hast asked riches for thyself.
Lord, I want some money. You hear me? I want all the gold. All the down. You anything? You said anything? Oh yeah. All the gold.
Damn.
For real. That average Negro. Go ahead.
Nor has asked the life of thine enemies.
Oh, you show Lord anything? Hey man. Hey, them Philistines gotta go. You hear me? Forever. Obliterate. For real. Average Negro. Go ahead.
But has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
But he didn't ask for all of that. He asked for a great mind. All right? A discerning mind, an understanding mind. Read.
Behold, I have done according to thy words.
So I've answered that. Read.
Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart.
So I give you what you asked for. Read.
So that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
Right. So we gave him what he asked for and more when you keep reading. But think just that alone. Solomon was blessed by God with a mind to where there was none like him before him, and there will be none with such a mind after him. Right? Now watch this. 1 Kings 4 verse 29. We gonna dig into that. Read that.
1 Kings chapter 4 verse 29.
Go ahead.
And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore.
So it said God gave Solomon wisdom, understanding exceeding much, and largeness of heart. Y'all know what that means? Largeness of heart? Because remember, the heart is the what? So the Lord blessed Solomon with an infinite mental capacity. Now watch this. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7. This the proof. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 17.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 17.
Now Solomon came from the same lineage as you. He black. Just like you and I. All right, but watch this. Read that.
For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made.
So he knew Genesis. He understood how the elements came together to form the earth, the stars. You understand all of the different things and they functions, gravity, so on and so forth. He understood how it all meshed into. Like he understood Genesis chapter 1. All right, go ahead.
And the operation of the elements.
And the operation of elements. Go ahead.
The beginning, ending, and midst of the times. The alterations of the turning of the sun and the change of seasons.
So hold on. All of the devices and stuff in this world. Because they know Solomon was black. They know that we cut from that cloth. We are the descendants of the man that we read about.
Right.
And only we have access to this level of mental capacity, intelligence, right? So think about all the stuff in the world that they've pushed on our people, from sports to the video games, social media, all of these things to occupy our great, wonderful minds. You understand? To reduce our minds to 10% of your brain. You understand?
Right.
We probably use 2% of our brain, bro. Right. For real. Because read Wisdom of Solomon 7:17. This is the largeness of heart that he had. Come on.
For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made.
Genesis.
And the operation of the elements.
Ain't chemistry the one with the table of the elements?
Periodic table. Yeah.
Right, the periodic table of elements. So he understood chemistry to the perfection, not what you in 11th grade. No. All right, go ahead.
The beginning, ending, and midst of the times.
So Solomon knew Genesis. He knew how the world began. He knew how the world was going to end. And he knew the Dark Ages, what they call the Middle Ages.
Right.
You understand? He saw all of that. He had the knowledge of all of that. Go ahead.
The alterations of the turning of the sun.
The alterations of the turning of the sun. what's that called? Astronomy, right?
Yes, sir.
No, it's called heliology. Look that up. The alterations of the turning of the sun. Heliology. What the hell is T? Ah, okay. I see what you. No, just type in HELIO. There you go. Yes. That's the put on the screen. Come on.
Heliology, the study of the sun.
So this Solomon Solomon knew this. All right, keep reading.
Verse 18. The beginning, ending, and midst of the times. The alteration of the turning of the sun.
Go ahead.
And the change of seasons.
And the change of seasons. What is that? The change of seasons.
Seasons.
Okay.
See, King Solomon knew that.
The meteorology. Is it meteorology? All right. Yep. Yes. Read that.
Meteorology, the branch of science concerned with the processes and phenomena of the atmosphere, especially as a means of forecasting the weather.
Okay. So now read on.
Verse 19. The circuits of years.
The circuits of years. Going into the same thing. Go ahead.
And the positions of stars.
That's astrology. Astrology. So Solomon knew that. Go ahead.
The natures of living creatures.
That's biology. Go ahead.
And the furies of wild beasts.
That's ethology, the study of animals. Go ahead.
The violence of winds.
That's called animology. Not animal like A-N-I, but A-N-E-M-O-L-O-G-Y. Animology. Yeah, put that on the screen. The force of winds. All right.
Animology, the study of the movements of the winds.
So Solomon understood that thing. All right. Keep reading.
And the reasonings of men.
That's my favorite one. Psychology. Solomon was a psychologist. You understand? Far above any that you know today.
Right. It's the
What's the damn Freud? What is his name? William Freud.
Right.
He was right. Fraud. You understand? Solomon far exceeded that. Go ahead.
The diversities of plants.
That's called botany. I hope I'm saying that right. B-O-T-A-N-Y. Botany. Go ahead.
And the virtues of roots.
And that's herbology. So Solomon had all that. He had the mental. Brothers be struggling with knowing precepts.
Damn.
He knew every precept,
Everything.
every subject, an expert in everything. Literally. Our God blessed him with that because he asked for it. Well, he asked for the discernment to judge the people. You understand? For longevity of his kingdom, but the Lord gave him everything. Go ahead.
And all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know.
So that's the largeness of heart that God gave Solomon. You understand? That's how far his mind was expanded. For real. And you got to think now. You can pray and fast 40 days, 40 nights. And I ain't going to say what the Lord ain't going to do. But us today, we got to read books. All right? This is the thing. The black man and black woman today don't really want to expand their mind like that unless it's out of covetousness to get some type of gain or pleasure from it. You understand? On a carnal level. We don't, if we thought in the spectrum of the nation and the need and necessity of these things in order for us to be self-sufficient as a people, you would have way more people seeking out these subjects to become expert in the knowledge of these particular areas. But you don't see that. Everybody want to be a damn real estate mogul, a Wall Street. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Buns, extra, whatever can make them a good dollar without the, you know what I'm saying? For real. We don't really, I'm telling you, we gotta have the desire to expand our minds. You understand? Because Job 8, he said, listen, become great. Make a diligent search of your fathers. All right? See how great they was. Now, from there, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 4. So was it, now here's the thing though. Was it all just in Solomon's mind? Or did he take all of that wisdom and knowledge and do things with it? Watch this.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
I made me great works.
He did what?
I made me great works.
So he didn't just sit on the knowledge. He made great works. Go ahead.
I builded me houses.
He did what?
I builded me
He
houses.
builded houses. Read.
I planted me
He
vineyards.
planted vineyards with his herbology. You understand? Go ahead.
I made me gardens
He
and,
made them gardens. Read.
and orchids.
Uh-huh.
And I planted trees in them of all kind of fruits.
Right. So he used that we read. You understand? He had a damn tropical forest. You can't imagine what that looked like, bruh. Because remember, the fruits was bigger and probably like wet.
Right.
Like the hue was probably like, you know, bro, like just imagine walking in Solomon garden. Damn. For real, bruh. And it was in the Fertile Crescent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The best land on the planet. Bro, we can't imagine that. And that was on the earth. Come on.
I made me pools of water, to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees.
Right. So he had the vision. He had foresight. In order for these things to consist, I must make storage for water.
He did some
It
landscaping.
ain't gonna rain. Yeah. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna always rain. I gotta make me ponds.
He had it running where it needed to run and filled it
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I got me servants and maidens, and had servants born in my house.
Come on.
Also, I had great possessions of great and small cattle above all that were in Jerusalem before me.
Read.
I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces.
Come on.
I got me men singers and women
You
singers,
got him a record label. Go ahead.
and the delights of the sons of men
Uh-huh.
as musical instruments,
He had a band, a symphony. You understand? For real. Come on.
and that of all
Of
sorts.
all sorts, whether you like the orchestra, whether you like the, you know, the drum lines, you know what I'm saying? For real. You like boom bap, you like dirty south. He had it all. He had it all. You got to remember, his kingdom stretched from the river of Egypt to the Euphrates. You understand? So that whole region, what they call the Horn of Africa, that was all. So you gotta think, just like how you can travel I'd say 5 hours from Arkansas to Baton Rouge. What that was, 6 hours. And you see, like, we the same people, we do the same stuff, but it's like little different little flavors. Y'all gotta know that was how it was amongst the tribes in the land, and you know what I'm saying? So Solomon had it all for every little mini demographic within the entire demographic. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 9. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem.
Uh-huh.
Also my wisdom remained with
And
me.
guess what? All the knowledge of all those other things did not shove the wisdom out. He still retained the knowledge of God. With all of that, that goes back to the largeness of heart, that infinite mental capacity. The Lord blessed him with that thing. All right? Go to Sirach 47 and 13. So remember, we're dealing with the expansion of mind. All right? Read what you got.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 47 verse 13.
Come on.
Solomon reigned in a peaceable time and was honored.
Go ahead.
For God made all quiet round about him, that he might build an house in his name and prepare his sanctuary forever.
Come on.
How wise wast thou in thy youth, and as a flood,
As a what?
as a flood, filled with understanding.
So Solomon was as a flood filled with understanding. Like y'all ever seen, like you pour water, like say you pour water in a balloon, like the little balloon, like this, when it's a little empty tube, and you pour water in it and you see that junk expand. That's what a flood do. So Solomon was like a flood filled with understanding. Watch this.
Thy soul cover the whole earth.
And it flooded to, he had influence from his spirit, from his wisdom, from his mind. Sprouted influence to cover the whole earth. Every nation in the world wanted to inquire of the wisdom of Solomon. And we got it, and we don't even be reading. Go ahead.
And thou filledest it with dark parables.
And he filled the earth with dark parables. You understand? Now, watch this. Go to Sirach 24:25. So we read about Solomon, and you might think that's just how the Lord dealt with that individual. No. Remember what the Bible said about wisdom. If any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to every man liberally. You understand? And this is what wisdom do. Sirach 24:25.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 24, verse 25.
Go ahead.
He filleth all things with his wisdom, as Pison and as Tigris in the time of the new fruits.
So he filleth all things with his wisdom, as Pison. Which river is that in the in Genesis chapter 2? Pison is the Nile. So he filleth all things with his wisdom. He filleth all things. Are y'all a part of all things? Sure. So he filleth all things with his wisdom, as the Nile River and as Tigris in the time of new fruits. Go ahead.
He maketh the understanding to abound like Euphrates.
Like the Euphrates River.
And as Jordan in the time of the harvest.
And the Jordan River. So remember, we dealt with it in the sense of what, light. Now we dealing with it in the sense of like a flood, like water, which causes expansion. Right? Go ahead.
He maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the light.
You see that? So you know what I'm saying? Sure. The water, the light, that's why you got the Proverbs 6:23, the Ephesians 5:26, and they mean the same thing. It's the same spiritual concept. You understand? With light comes vision. With water comes expansion. Go ahead.
And as the Gion in the time of vintage.
And it's the Gion. Y'all got that? What's that note?
The Blue Nile.
The Nile River.
Blue Nile.
The Blue Nile. In the time of vintage. Go ahead.
The first man knew her not perfectly.
Read.
No more shall the last find her out.
Read.
For her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the great deep.
Read that again.
For her thoughts are more than the sea.
So the thoughts of wisdom are more than the sea. Go ahead.
And her counsels profounder than the great deep.
Profounder than the great deep. The ocean. The wisdom reigning deep within the ocean, it is. Go ahead.
I also came out as a brook from a river.
So now, all right, watch this. So y'all remember the mustard seed, right? Mm-hmm. So it says, I also came out as a brook from a river. What's a brook? That's a small body of water. A river is a what? A large body of water. Go ahead.
And as a conduit into a garden.
Who know what a conduit is? For irrigation. What is it? It's like a tube. Yeah, they're watered, like that you use to water your garden. Now watch this. Go ahead.
I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed.
Watch this.
And lo, my brook became a river.
My what?
My brook became a river.
My brook became a river. My small body of water expanded into a river. This is what wisdom do. Go ahead.
And my river became a sea.
And my river expanded and became a sea. Go ahead.
I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning,
Go ahead.
and will send forth her light afar off.
And then it go back to light. Which deals with what? Vision. Come on.
I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever.
Longevity. Come on.
Behold, that I have not
That's
labored.
generational wealth. Read that verse again.
Verse 33. I will yet pour out.
Batman on YouTube talking about generational wealth. This type of bank account, this type of insurance policy.
Come on, man.
Read that verse right there.
I will yet pour out
Get you
doctrine.
an LLC. Look at her.
Come on now, dog.
Read that again.
I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy.
Come on.
And leave it to all ages forever.
That's generational wealth. The understanding of these scriptures. Now watch this though. Cause when we say understand, and we finna get into it, but the understanding of these scriptures don't just mean the ability to read and recite the scriptures. The understanding of these scriptures, remember, the word of God is quick and powerful. You understand? Beyond this world, beyond this realm. You understand? This is the most powerful tool on the planet Earth. You can use this book to do all things. And that's our inheritance. That's what we pass down to our children. Literally. You understand? The tool that enables them to do all things. Come on.
Behold that I have not labored for myself only,
But
for all them that seek wisdom.
And that's how the spirit of wisdom works. So, and that's why I said that mustard seed, what we just read here, has levels. Literally, brook, river, sea. All right. So God poured the wisdom into you, right? And like it said with Solomon, he was as a flood filled with wisdom, but that flood rained over and covered the whole earth. We don't seek wisdom for ourselves only, but for all them. So you seek the Lord, you get the wisdom, your mind expands, you pour that into the next brother. He pours that into the next brother. You understand? So we all expand into big ass, we flood the earth, we take over the earth. Now, all right, where we at? Matthew 16, verse 5. They not with me, bro. They not with me, bro. They not with me, bro. I'm telling you. Trying to tell you. Matthew 16, verse 5.
The book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 5.
Come on.
And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread.
So this, I want y'all to put yourself in the shoes of the disciples, because y'all are. You understand? We are. So it said they would come to the other side. They forgot to take bread. So they finna move out. They finna travel, but they don't have food with them. Right? Go ahead.
Then Jesus said unto them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees.
So just like some of your leadership might do from time to time, brothers, be slow. He used that as an opportunity to drop a little nugget. Like, y'all talking about bread, yeah, y'all better watch out for the leaven of the Pharisees. When you read down, that leaven is going into doctrine. So he used them bringing up the topic of bread to address them being mindful of the doctrine that the Pharisees are spreading. They didn't catch it, though. All right, go ahead.
And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have taken no bread.
So he's saying beware the leaven of the Pharisees, because we didn't take no bread. And he telling us make sure we don't buy no bread from them. They trying to figure it out. But they think it's talking about literal leaven. Go ahead.
Which when
like they
Jesus
might have poisoned it trying to kill us or something type shit. Go ahead.
Which when Jesus perceived, he said unto them, O ye of little faith.
Oh, you. Go ahead.
Why reason ye among yourselves? Because ye have brought no bread?
Why the hell y'all worried about the fact that y'all forgot bread? Watch this.
Do ye not yet understand? Neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000 and how many baskets he took up?
Because that was in chapter 14. Read.
Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000 and how many baskets he took up?
So that was in chapter 15. So they had 2 occasions where they didn't have food. And somehow a multitude of food came about to where it was an overload, right? So you might be asking yourself, what the hell do this got to do with the class? What the hell does this got to do with me? We find ourselves as brothers and sisters that's still in the flesh in this world. We find ourselves met with certain struggles like to pay bills, trying to figure out how to get bills paid and how to get a job and do this and do that and so on and so forth. And it's like, don't you know the book that you and you only have the understanding of? Like, do you know you in the truth? Like, your eyes was enlightened? Do you not understand the capability that you possess? Have you not inquired diligently your forefathers? You didn't listen to that class Bishop brought out and forgot that quick? You went back to being a damn desperate, helpless nigga? Are you serious? You understand? This is what the disciples did. You gotta think. You like, damn. They just, verse 9 and 10, they literally, it wasn't that long ago. They know who they walking with. They know what he can do. And they still fearful because they forgot some bread. You understand? That's us in this truth today. That's how we think. You understand? We underestimate the power of God that we possess. How soon we forget, soon as we face with a little trial, a little situation, we forget the wealth of understanding that the Lord has blessed us with and the ability that we have. Watch this. Go to 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. It's just an example. And y'all know why. And let's go back to the beginning of the class. The Lord said, don't come in here walking as other Gentiles walk. The reason why we got a lot of issues that we got is because our minds have not expanded beyond ourselves. You understand? We not trying to be, we not trying to pour into the next brother. We just trying to fill our water all the way up to the top and put little buckets up under our water to catch it and pour it back into ourselves. The hell is this? For real. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9.
2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. For ye know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that ye through his poverty might be rich.
So everybody say they believe in Christ. Everybody say they followers of Christ. Christ was sitting on the right hand of God. You understand? He was a possessor of the heaven and the earth. What David say? My Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand. That's what he was doing before he came down through the loins of Joseph. But it said, though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor. He came in his flesh. He learned carpentry. He dealt with niggas, backstabbers, the hoes, the damn boule. You understand? For real. He did that we might become rich, that we might receive the inheritance, right? That's what he did for us. Now, he left an example for us to follow his steps. Now read verse 12.
Verse 12. For if there be first a willing mind.
A what?
A willing mind.
So this is the first step that it takes in order to expand your mind. It has to be willing to expand. Like, for example, if I came to you with a book and I said, in this book, you will learn how to, what's some stuff people don't know how to do, but it'd be nice to learn how to do it.
Mechanic.
Huh? HVAC. Let's do something more appealing. Let's say I gave you let's say I gave you a book. This book will teach you how to save 25,000 in a year, and you don't even make more than 50,000, right? Something like that. Okay. So you either gonna have one or two minds, the willing mind or the nigga mind. I don't feel like reading that. I don't believe in that. Fuck that. Keep that to yourself, blah, blah, blah. The willing mind will be like, I might not be able to save 25,000, but it's going to show me something because I'm broke. I'm broke. In my mind, with my income, I can't save no damn money. So this book, this literature might get me somewhere. You understand? That's how it is with the Spirit of the Lord. That's how it is with talents in this truth. You must have a willing mind. Now watch this. Come on.
For if there be first a willing mind, it is accepted according to that a man hath, and not according to that he hath not.
Meaning, it's not like how the church make it seem. You gotta give this amount of whatever. No, it's according to what you have. If you have a willing mind, you gonna give according to what you have. Read.
For I mean not that other men be eased, and ye be burdened.
So he's not telling the church of Corinth this, that they the only ones that got to give and look out for the leadership while the other churches sit back. That ain't what he's saying. Read.
But by inequality.
But by what?
But by inequality.
So Paul had the vision for the nation, for the church. You understand? I'm trying to get us all on the same level. Because if we all on the same level, we not going to want for nothing. Watch this. Read.
That now at this time your abundance may be a supply for their want.
So your abundance will be a supply for what they lack. Read.
That their abundance also may be a supply for your wants.
And vice versa. Or like the barter system. You may have an abundance of this while they lack that. And they might have an abundance of that while you lack this. You understand? But we're one body. All it takes is a willing mind. And we got it. It ain't nothing we don't got. Watch this.
That there may be equality.
Read.
As it is written,
He
that had gathered much had nothing over, and he that had gathered little had no lack.
Paul was cold. He went back to the law on their ass. He went back to Exodus 16. So we can fulfill that law if we have a willing mind. If we had a mind like Christ. It said, he that had gathered much had nothing over, and he that had gathered little had no lack. So why is it brothers that's broke and struggling? And why is some brothers well off? How is some brothers able to pull up in this and wear that while other brothers don't know that, I gotta fall back. I ain't got no ride. I ain't got no this, I ain't got no that. It don't make no damn sense. Something is off. Okay. Watch this. Go to 1 Kings chapter 4. 1 Kings 4 and 20. So this going back to Solomon, just put it into perspective, right? Read that.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 4 and verse 20.
So remember we read about Solomon. He had the great abundance and so on and so forth. But look at this.
Judah and Israel were many.
The sand of the sea.
As the sand which is by the sea in multitude. Eating and drinking and making merry.
So when Solomon sat on the throne, everybody ate. You understand? It wasn't just like you see, I'll be saying it now, but like Game of Thrones, King's Landing, they got food they could just waste and just throw and all that. But it's people in the street, poor, they ain't got nothing, got to steal, rob, grab your cupcake and run. You understand? So Solomon Kingdom, when we reign in righteousness, everybody ate good. Read verse 25.
Verse 25. And Judah and Israel dwelt safely, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon.
So everybody was maxing and relaxing. You understand?
Right.
Then nobody had to break their damn back. While other men was, on the contrary. You understand? There was an equality as a nation. right? Now, of course, the king's house, it's levels, it's, whatever. But nobody lacked. That's the point. Now watch this. 1 Maccabees chapter 14. Now remember what we read. Search for your fathers. This is stuff that we did not only when we had the kingdom of the Lord in earth with Solomon, but with other forefathers as well. Let's read about Simon. 1 Maccabees 14 verse 4. I touched on this before. Read that.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 14, verse 4.
Now, just for y'all to get a understanding, a snapshot of what's going on. This is after our mighty leader, Judas Maccabees, got put to death. His brother Jonathan also died, got put to death. So, and we had enemies coming up against us. You understand? But with his wisdom, because he was the brother, when Mattathias, he was like, Judas, you the captain. Simon, you the smart one. You understand? So he was more of the sit back in the cut and observe and wise counsel. You understand? And then in due time, the Lord raised him up to be the leader. Right? So watch this, verse 4.
As for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon.
Go ahead.
For he sought the good of his nation in such wise, as that evermore his authority and honor pleased them well.
Watch this.
And as he was honorable in all his acts, so in this, that he took Joppa for an haven.
So that was like a seaport that was instrumental for trade, that was very vital for the economy. He took that for a haven for us. Read.
And made an entrance to the isles of the sea.
So he could send ships to travel abroad on the sea and go get the finest goods. And you understand? It's very lucrative for the people. Read.
And enlarged the bounds of his nation.
He did what?
And enlarged the bounds of his nation.
So he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to expand our boundaries. When he got put in power, when he got put in position, he expanded our territory. He expanded the territory of Judea. Go ahead.
And recovered the country. And gathered together a great number of captives.
Ain't that what we read in Ecclesiastes 2? I got me servants and maid servants.
Yep.
Damn, this sounds familiar. Come on.
And had the dominion over Gazara and Bethsura and the tower.
Now this was, the white man was, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff. But we were doing stuff. So it said, we gathered together a great number of captives, had the dominion over Gazara and Bethsura. Go ahead.
And the tower, out of the which he took all uncleanness.
Idolatry.
Neither was there any that resisted him.
Go ahead.
Then did they till their ground in peace. And the earth gave her increase, and the trees of the field their fruit.
So Deuteronomy 28, not the curses though. 1 through 14. You understand? The earth is yielding her fruit. The earth is feeding us. You understand? That's not Deuteronomy 28:48. In one of all things.
Right.
The earth is yielding her fruit. Read on.
The ancient men sat all in the streets.
So the old man was able to hang out in the street. Can the old man do that now?
Hell no.
The old man able to sit in the streets and politic, chill, relax, chop it up, go ahead.
Communing together of good things.
And they ain't talking about damn what Charleston White be talking about. Right. They ain't sucking and jiving.
Hell no.
They communing together of good things. Go ahead.
And the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel.
And the young men was walking around dicked out. Not Hanes and Dickies. For real. And not Ralph Lauren either. We talking about like real deal garments with gold and leather, and you understand? What that would be worth thousands today. What they call designer. You understand? Designed by us. Read on.
He provided victuals for the city.
He did what?
He provided victuals. He provided.
He what?
He provided.
He provided victuals for the cities. Come on.
And set in them all manner of munition.
Meaning ammo. Meaning we was able to handle ourselves. Somebody wanted to smoke. He made sure we were ready for the smoke. Come on.
So that his honorable name was renowned unto the end of the world.
Read.
He made peace in the land.
Come on.
And Israel rejoiced with great joy.
Watch this.
For every man sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to fray them.
Did we just read that? In 1 Kings 4 under Solomon. But this wasn't the kingdom. But they was able to make that happen. Because Solomon had what? He had vision. Yeah. His mind, he expanded his mind and poured that wisdom as a flood upon the whole nation. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 13.
Come on.
Neither was there any left in the land to fight against them. Yea, the kings themselves were overthrown in those days.
Read.
Moreover, he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low.
Like Paul was saying, you understand? Like we supposed to be able to take care of each other. Ain't no such thing as you low and I got abundance. Hell no, my abundance is to take care of your lack. Go ahead.
The law he searched out. And every contemner of the law and wicked person he took away.
Hey, take your ass to Greece or Rome somewhere. You understand? Go ahead.
He beautified the sanctuary and multiplied the vessels of the temple.
So he did that. This was right after the Greek captivity. After the Greeks had us captive, we was able to rebel and break loose. He established basically a kingdom. You understand? Go to Sirach 44 verse 6. Let's see what it was that enabled him to do this. All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 44 and verse 6. Rich men furnish with ability.
When people, and this is going into our forefathers, when you start up, rich men furnished with ability. People see rich men and they think dollar bills. Rich man, biblically speaking, was in terms of resources, land, territory, which you were able to, like we read here, munition, herbs, so on and so forth, all of the different victuals that you could provide. It wasn't about no damn pieces of paper. Our forefathers were rich men, what?
Living peaceably.
No, rich men.
Rich men furnished with ability.
They were furnished with ability. Like you walk into an apartment and it's furnished with a couch, a table, a coffee table, a dining room table, so on and so forth. The rich men, our forefathers, were furnished with ability. We possessed diverse abilities. You understand? And in order to further our nation, to expand our nation. You understand? That was our forefathers. That was Simon. Read.
Living peaceably in their habitation.
Because ain't that what it said about him during his time? Yeah. So we were able to do that, and it wasn't just during the time of David and Solomon. All right? Now watch this. Go to Sirach 25, verse 1. Sirach chapter 25, verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25 and verse 1.
Come on.
In three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and men.
Go ahead.
The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
So this scripture is heavy. All right? Now put it in the mindset of the class. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors. Now, when you think about unity alone, it's kind of like faith alone. Like faith without works. Because we see our people be able to unify. Like in the 225 Fest in Baton Rouge, it was 20,000 people. You understand? Concerts, barbecues, family reunions. It ain't like black people can't unify, but that unity is not beautiful because it lacks the love of the brethren. With love of the brethren meaning not just, hey, you my girl, you my nigga and all that. But if I'm furnished with ability, I'm going to furnish you. I'm not trying to be above you. I'm not trying to outshine you. I'm not trying to take your woman. You understand? I'm not trying to take your man. I'm not trying to so on and so forth. With the love of neighbors, meaning the application of the commandments, charity with one another, with unity, what are the limitations? That's why it's beautiful before God and man. When you saw us in unity with the love of neighbors, and our women were on one accord with us, what it says at the bottom of the verse, that's literally perfection. Top tier. You understand? All right? And we got what it takes to fulfill this scripture. Do y'all understand that? Yes, sir. Watch this. Go to Exodus 24, verse 18. So I'm going to get into some examples about the exchanging of talents, because I ain't got to that yet. Y'all thought it was almost over. I just dealt with the expansion of mind. But with the expansion of mind comes the requirement to exchange talents. Exodus 24, verse 18.
The book of Exodus, chapter 24 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
And Moses went into the midst of the cloud and got him up into the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights.
So the white man said he spent 4 days per commandment. He went up there for 40 days, 40 nights. The Lord had to carve. It took him 4 days to carve out. Like, you know what I'm saying? That what Esau say. But watch this. Go read chapter 25, verse 38.
Exodus.
So chapter 25, he's instructing, he's giving Moses the blueprint, the architect vision of the tabernacle. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 25 and verse 38.
Go ahead.
And the tongues thereof and the stuffed dishes.
My
thereof.
bad, 40. Verse 40.
Verse 40.
Uh-huh.
And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount.
So what did God also show Moses in the mount? Huh? Right. He showed them the architecture. He showed them the layout, the blueprint, everything, how it's going to look before it was anything. You understand? Yes, sir. Now go to chapter 25, verse 1.
Exodus chapter 25, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering.
So y'all see there, right? So the vision come from the Lord. The man of the Lord has the vision. And now it requires people with a willing mind to bring forth the resources. God gave him the vision, the plan. God didn't put a whole bunch of brass and gold and, you know what I'm saying, equipment into Moses' lap. He gave him the vision. And he told Moses, hey, listen, declare for the people to give an offering in order for all of these things to fulfill the vision that I gave you. You understand? Now go to Exodus 31 and verse 6. So, okay, you got the vision. You got the resources. You got the tools. Now what's next? Exodus 31 verse 1.
The book of Exodus chapter 31 verse 1.
Did I say 31?
Verse 6.
Yeah, start at verse 1.
The book of Exodus chapter 31 verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uriah, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship.
Y'all thought that he was talking about some precept kings. No, he filled them with the Spirit of God in wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, and all manner of workmanship, meaning to fulfill the vision that he gave Moses. That's the thing about the vision. And that's why all praise to the Most High God for our leadership. Double honors to Bishop Nathaniel, all the bishops, all the deacons. Because they had the vision. Bishop didn't know the thousands of members that he got right now. All he knew in 2003 was 2 other brothers. You understand? As far as that was down with the cause of Israel united in Christ. But this is the vision that he had. Schools in Arkansas, Ghana, Uganda, Netherlands, Ecuador. You understand? But he didn't know all these brothers that was able to edit, that was able to, plan damn royal event planning and treasury, and he didn't know Deacon Yahshua. You understand? Not yet. But the Lord put the spirit, not just the spirit to understand scriptures, but the spirit to have an ability to bring to the table to furnish the house. You understand? That's how it always go. But some brothers and sisters be keeping their ability to themselves, for themselves. The hell is this? God didn't give you the spirit to be able to make this and create this with your hands and all that, to never do it for the body? What the hell? You understand? To maintain the state of the world, that's why your ass don't got no understanding. That's why you're not growing in the spirit. All right? But anyway, come on.
Verse 4.
That's why you gotta expand your mind beyond your damn self. Come on.
To devise cunning works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship.
Come on.
And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee.
So he put the wisdom in their heart to make everything that the Lord commanded Moses in the form of a vision. He equipped them in with the spirit, the ability to make that vision come to fruition. All right? Now, go to what I want next. Go to 2 Chronicles 24. 2 Chronicles 24, verse 4.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 24 and verse 4.
Come on.
And it came to pass after this, that Joash was minded to repair the house of the Lord.
Because the house of Ahab, you understand, had destroyed it, right, with all the idols. So it came into his spirit to repair the house of the Lord. All right, to replenish that thing. Read.
And he gathered together the priests.
So he had a what? He had the vision. You understand? He had the vision. This ain't how the house of the Lord supposed to look. It's supposed to look like this. What's in my mind, what my mind, what the eyes of my mind see is what this temple is supposed to be, not what it looks like to the naked eye. You understand? What the eyes of my mind see is what it's supposed to be. So now this is what must happen. Read.
And he gathered together the priests and the Levites.
Come on.
And said to them, go out unto the cities of Judah, and gather of all Israel money to repair the house of your God from year to year. And see that ye hasten the matter. Howbeit the Levites hastened it not.
So he tell the Levites, go get a collection of money so we can make this vision come to pass. And the Levites like, man, them niggas ain't them niggas ain't worried about no damn temple. You know how niggas be. You know how you give a brother order and he turn around and just keep talking to the brother he was talking to?
Right.
No sense of urgency.
Right.
It's nothing new under the sun. Go ahead.
And the king called for Jehoiada the chief.
So the king said down, they don't want to listen to me. Let me call the chief priest Jehoiada, read.
And said unto him, why hast thou not required of the Levites to bring in out of Judah and out of Jerusalem the collection according to the commandment of Moses, the servant of the Lord, and of the congregation of Israel for the tabernacle of witness?
And they go back to Proverbs 29:18. The vision is always accompanied with the law. Because the law is what give you the vision. He like in the book of Exodus, that's what Moses did. To the vision that the Lord gave him for the tabernacle, so on and so forth. He had to get a collection of money. Why the hell you supposed to be the high priest? You supposed to be reading Exodus. You understand? Why y'all ain't did that I just found in the book of Exodus? Come on.
For the sons of Athaliah, that wicked woman, had broken up the house of God, and also all the dedicated things of the house of the Lord did they bestow upon Baalim.
Come on.
And at the king's commandment, they made a chest and set it without at the gate of the house of the Lord.
So they set up a chest, right, for people to drop off their money right at the gate of the house of the Lord. Come on.
And they made a proclamation through Judah and Jerusalem
Read.
to bring into the Lord the collection that Moses, the servant of God, laid upon Israel in the wilderness. And all the princes and all the people rejoiced and brought in and cast into the chest until they had made an end.
Watch this.
Now it came to pass that at what time the chest was brought unto the king's office by the hand of the Levites, and when they saw that there was much money, the king's scribe and the high priest's officer came and emptied the chest and took it and carried it to his place again.
So they dumped the money out and then brought the empty chest back to the gate. Read.
Thus they did day by day.
So they did this every day. Read.
And gathered money in abundance.
Watch this.
And the king and Jehoiada gave it to such as did the work of the service of the house of the Lord.
Watch this.
And hired masons and carpenters to repair the house of the Lord.
Because that's why we needed the funds for not only the tools and the material, but also the labor. Right? Go ahead.
And also such as wrought iron and brass to mend the house of the Lord.
Who the Lord put the spirit on to be able to do those things and work and build with those things. Read.
So the workmen wrought, and the work was perfected by them.
And that's why you got to respect them men who that's their talent, that's their gift. Because, okay, I'm teaching, that's my job, okay, to teach, to edify the people or whatever. But I can't damn build no damn leadership table, not by myself. But Brother Jacob, he can come and do this shit in his sleep alone. He ain't finna teach no 3-hour class. You understand? But the same spirit that's in me to do this is the same spirit that's in him to do that. So if we together on one accord, you understand? And that's why you got to respect them men. Not the ones that got the talent but don't do shit for the body. But the ones that labor for the body, that make these sanctuaries pop up and look nice and all of that, because they sacrifice their time to do that. They have a willing mind to fulfill the vision of the Lord, Ezekiel 11:16. You got to respect them. All right? That's the spirit. Read.
And they set the house of God in its state and strengthened it.
Come on.
And when they had finished it, they brought the rest of the money before the king and Jehoiada, whereof were made vessels for the house of the Lord, even vessels to minister, and to offer withal, and spoons, and vessels of gold and silver.
So they had leftover money to be able to like form the fancy decor and dishes and things of that nature, outside of just the reparations, or not, did I say that right? The renovations that had to be made. Go ahead.
And they offer burnt offerings in the house of the Lord continually all the days of Jehoiada.
So y'all know what this go back to? This go back to what Christ said to the disciples. We don't understand. You thinking that you lack something. Like, you got to think of the mindset of the Levite. Man, we finna get these niggas. Man, this nigga talking about some whatever. But with just as a nation, when everybody on one accord and we all in agreement with the vision, you not only able to do what your mind set out to do, but more beyond that. You understand, like how they always had food left over after there was no food and then became an abundance. They always had food left over. That's symbolic of our capability. The stuff that we think we can't do, not only can we do it, but we can do far beyond what the hell we think we can't do if we just come together and do it with a willing mind. But we got to expend our mind and exchange our talents. From there, Ezra 1 verse 2.
The book of Ezra.
From Ezra.
The book of Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Come on.
Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord God of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah.
So this Cyrus, the Lord charged him to build it, meaning he gave him the charge to allow us to build it. He didn't live a damn thing. You understand? But anyway, go ahead.
Who is there among you of all his
And that's the
people?
proof. Who is there among you of all his people? Read.
His God be with him. And let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord, God of Israel. He is the God, which is in Jerusalem.
Right. So King Cyrus made a decree. If the spirit of the Lord on you, you damn Israelites, go get out my face and go rebuild the temple. Go ahead.
And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the men of his place help him with silver, and with gold, and with goods, and with beasts, beside the freewill offering for the house of God that is in Jerusalem.
So even if you're not gonna be one of the hand to the plowers, give something to support the men, right? Watch this. Keep reading.
Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose spirit God had raised, to go up to build the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem.
Y'all see that? With all them whose spirit God had raised to go up to build the house of the Lord. The Lord put the spirit on them to go and build the house of the Lord. Come on.
And all they that were about them strengthened their hands with vessels of silver, with gold, with goods, and with beasts, and with precious things, beside all that was willingly offered.
So this was in captivity. This was in captivity. Now go to chapter 2, verse 68. Come on.
The book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 68.
Read.
And some of the chief of the fathers, when they came to the house of the Lord, which is at Jerusalem, offered freely for the house of God to set it up in his place.
Read.
They gave after their ability unto the treasure of the work.
They gave after their ability, because it's not according to, it's according to what a man hath, not what he hath not. You understand? So they gave according to their ability to the treasure of the work. Read.
61,000 drams of gold, and 5,000 pound of silver, and 100 priest garments.
So they literally exchanging talents. Y'all see that? Now go to chapter 3, verse 1.
Ezra chapter 3 and verse 1.
Come on.
And when the 7th month was come, the children of Israel were in the cities. The people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem.
The unity of brethren. You understand? So now we unified and act. We got the resources because of the willing hearts. You know what I'm saying? Offer it. Now we got the resources. Now the unity is there to make this vision come to pass. Jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7.
Come on.
They gave money also unto the masons and to the carpenters.
So now you're able to pay the laborers. Read.
And meat and drink and oil unto them of Zidon and to them of Tyre, to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the sea of Joppa.
Come on.
According to the grant that they had of Cyrus, king of Persia.
Now jump down to verse 10. Watch this, y'all.
Verse 10. And when the builders laid the foundation of the temple of the Lord.
Because y'all know what Babylon and Esau did to the temple? Babylon came and took every damn thing out there, junk, and destroyed it. Esau set it on fire. You understand? It was decimated. You understand? So we came together with unity, with a willing mind, a willing spirit, and we was able to lay the foundation. Watch this.
They set the priests in their apparel with trumpets, and the Levites, the sons of Asaph, with cymbals, to praise the Lord.
So you know what black folks do. When we hit a milestone, we gonna celebrate. Read on.
To praise the Lord after the ordinance of David, king of Israel.
Watch this.
And they sang together by course in praising and giving thanks unto the Lord.
Come on.
Because he is good, for his mercy endureth forever toward Israel.
Read.
And all the people shouted with a great shout when they praised the Lord.
Why?
Because the foundation of the house of the Lord was laid.
Read.
But many of the priests and Levites and chief of the fathers, who were ancient men.
So the older men, the elder men, watch this,
that had seen the first house.
So when they was little boys, because remember the Babylonian captivity was 70 years. So they lived long enough to live before Babylon came and destroyed it, and after Babylon had been conquered by Persia and Media. So they remember from their childhood eyes and their youth what the temple that Solomon built looked like. Read.
When the foundation of this house was laid before their eyes,
Uh-huh.
wept with a loud voice.
It brought them to tears. You understand? Tears of joy. Come on.
And many shouted aloud for joy.
So they turned up. They're like, damn, look what we was able to do. We thought it was just, you seeing the original version and then you see it completely decimated. You know what I'm saying? Yes, now you seeing us coming together out of a captive state. And we got this thing in motion. This brought the brothers to tears. You understand? Read on.
So that the people could not discern the noise of the shout of joy from the noise of the weeping of the people.
They didn't know if somebody died. They didn't know if it was a disaster that happened or if they were turning up happy. That's how loud they was weeping, how loud they was shouting for joy. Go ahead.
For the people shouted with a loud shout, and the noise was heard afar off.
Now go to Acts chapter 1, verse 14. So we just read some examples, primarily, basically from a masculine scope, how men establish the vision, put their resources together, do the labor, and we can make things happen beyond, per se, our imagination. And I say per se because it's only because we don't activate our imagination. Where no vision is, the people perish. But when that vision come, you understand, when the light shine, like, damn, we doing it. We did it. Now we doing more. Right. The hell is this? Now read that.
The book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 14.
Come on.
These all continue with one accord in prayer and supplication with the women and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and with his brethren.
So read it one more time.
These all continue with one accord in prayer and supplication.
Come on.
With the women.
With the women. Read.
And Mary, the mother of Jesus, and with his brethren.
So the women were not excluded, right, from these things, from the exchanging of talents. Go to Luke chapter 8. No, go to Proverbs 31. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. This is why you can't exclude the women. Watch this. Proverbs 31, verse 10.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
So she's valuable beyond rubies, beyond precious stone, expensive stones. She's valuable beyond that. Read verse 13.
Verse 13.
Go ahead.
She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
So she not just valuable because she got a pretty face and a soft voice. It says she seek wool and flax and do what?
And worketh willingly with her hands.
So wool and flax, you can use that to make clothes, different material, different uses. You understand? And the women took it upon themselves to master the use and the creation of the material utilizing those resources. While the men did, you got to think of just the anatomy, how our body's made up. The Lord made us with big backs, and you understand it's for a reason. We was meant to do the harder type of labor per se, and they was meant to do stuff that is more intricate and delicate. You understand? So a revolutionary woman, she gonna have the spirit, if she got the spirit, instead of using Twitter fingers, Insta fingers, she gonna work willingly with her hands. Brothers shouldn't be worried about having clothes on their bike. Well, I'm proving. Read verse 16.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
She considereth a field and buyeth it.
So she, and this is another thing too, because we might have the wrong impression, the wrong understanding. All right, this is what King Solomon mama telling him. Women don't just sit around. You understand? And it ain't just no captivity thing either, because I know we be like, man, look, we in captivity, woman. You got to get a job. It ain't even, yeah, we could be over all nations right now. Your ass supposed to be productive. You understand? Read it again.
She considereth a field and buyeth
So
it.
she bought a field not to set up a damn hammock and just lay and sip lemonade all day. Read on.
With the fruit of her hands, she planted a vineyard.
She take the field, buy it to plant a vineyard, which produces grapes and wine, which you can consume and make money from. So this is business. Big business. That's why I say he that getteth the wife getteth the good thing. It ain't talking about just a piece of poop. Daddy, who the hell told y'all? Yeah, to get this good thing. No. Your ass don't know how to do nothing. Verse 18.
Verse 18.
Come on.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good.
So she got merchandise. So that's what she doing with the wool and flax. You understand? She got merchandise. Read.
Her candle goeth not out by night.
Read verse 20.
Verse 20. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor.
So she able to be charitable to the less fortunate because she about her business. She's standing on business. Go ahead.
Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
You see that? So her mind is just not about self. Because that's how a lot of sisters is. They got plenty of talents in their household, under their roof. They do all type of sewing, all type of baking, all type of just gardening and all that. And they one little singular address. And nothing beyond that. Sisters got talent you would never know. Their husband do, though. The hell is this? Keep reading.
Verse 21.
19. Hold on. Damn, I was supposed. Yeah, read 19.
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
Now read 21.
Verse 21. She is not afraid of the snow for her household.
She ain't worried about the season changing and you need more thicker layers of clothing. Why?
For all her household are clothed with scarlet.
So wait a minute. So the man, we go out, we do our thing, we provide, but they also provide. Who told the woman she ain't gotta provide? So it say she not afraid because her household is clothed with scarlet. She able to make clothes for the whole crib, coats, sweaters. You understand? Not no dusty, tacky stuff either. You understand? Now read on.
Verse 22.
Come on.
She maketh herself coverings of tapestry.
Tapestry. That sound like some nice tapestry. Go ahead.
Her clothing is silk and purple.
Come on, silk. She able to. Come on now. Her clothing is silk and purple. Royalty. She decked out. And that come from the fruit of her hands. Where you sisters at with these Why I still chopping Dillards? Why? What the hell? For what? All these, when it's more women in the body than men. Well, we haven't expanded our minds. Read verse 24.
Verse 24.
We not exchanging the talents, bruh. Come on.
She maketh fine linen.
She maketh fine linen. Read.
And selleth it.
And selleth it. So she bringing income in comes the funds. You understand? Read.
And delivereth girdles unto the merchant.
And she'd supply the clothing store. You understand? For real. Now watch this. Get Luke chapter 8 verse 2. Luke chapter 8 verse 2. Let's see if sisters had their hands to the plow.
The book of Luke chapter 8 Verse 2.
Go ahead.
And certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities,
Just like y'all. Read.
Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils,
Yeah, just like you, sis. Read.
and Joanna, the wife of Chusa, Herod's steward,
Go ahead.
and Susanna, and many others which ministered unto him of their substance.
So they looked out for Christ out of their own substance, meaning their resources. What did we read in Proverbs? Whether it was damn flax, wool, coverings, they would get Christ right. He ain't had to worry about nothing. The sisters had his back. You understand? For real. And it said Herod's steward, meaning these sisters was, like the cleaning ladies and stuff like that, maids. So they had day jobs and still put in a brick for the Lord. They took what they made from the white man and gave with a willing heart towards the ministry. All right. We almost through. Acts 16, verse 14. Acts chapter 16, verse 14.
The book of Acts, chapter 16 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple.
A what?
Of purple.
A seller of purple, a top commodity. So she had bread. Read.
Of the city of Thyatira, which worshipped God, heard us,
Read.
whose heart the Lord opened.
So the Lord opened this sister heart. Come on.
That she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul.
Watch this.
And when she was
She
baptized
repented.
and her household, she besought us, saying, if ye have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come into my house.
Do what?
Come into my house and abide there. And she constrained us.
So this sister was very useful to the ministry. You understand? She opened a church in her house. Come congregate here. She's a seller of purple. She had bread. You understand? Certain sisters, you will never know. All you see is, the Buick. It's nice though. You know what I'm saying? But you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sister got some stuff. And it ain't about the stuff. It's about the fact that she's able. But she got resources. She got connections. You understand? She can give brothers jobs. She can make this. She can link us with this person. You understand? But people just be thinking it's just Saturday. I just come to, I see y'all because we're just coming to learn the scriptures from Bishop. That's it. Just a scripture thing. Something like that. Genesis 11 and 6. Yeah, I know this is one of my favorite scriptures right here. All right. Genesis 11 and verse 6.
The book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 6.
Now, the disclaimer in context, this is in the pursuit of something ungodly. But nevertheless, the ideal reigns true. Just imagine this in the concept of righteousness with the Spirit. Watch this.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one.
The people is what?
The people is one.
They on one accord. They got one mind. It's equality. It's he that abounds. Take care of them that lack. You understand? So on and so forth. They one. Read.
And they have all one language.
They all have one language. They all speaking the same thing. Read.
And this they begin to do.
And this they began to do. They have something on their mind as one that they're setting out to do. Read.
And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Did y'all hear that? Yes, sir. Do y'all understand how powerful? Y'all remember imagine. That goes back to vision. Whatever vision they have, nothing will be restrained from them. Nothing can get in their way and stop them from accomplishing whatever the hell they want to accomplish. Message, all you got to do, expand your mind, exchange your talent. And nothing will be restrained from us. Nothing. What the hell? Why the hell is we all scattered abroad? You live 30 minutes away. You live 40 minutes away. You live 18. We all scattered. What the hell? Why the hell we all just can't get one big apartment building, one street, buy the land, build some house? Why we can't do that? Cause you get a good job. You can make a down payment over there with the white folks because you want to have a big nice house while brothers, I don't know, roaches and rats. It don't make no sense. We got some real nigga mind, nigga mentality problem, astonishment of heart. We got some reforming to do. We got to expand this. Do you really understand our capability is limitless, it's infinite. We got the Spirit, we got the Bible, we understand it. You understand? Look at our leadership. Look what we able to do. Look where we at. You know where all the captains is going? Ain't no captain in IUIC gonna be in the United States of America in the Passover. Do you understand that? That's through the vision and willing offerings to the vision to support the vision. Come on, man. All right, Matthew 25:14. So we went through all them scriptures in all this class to get here because we bring this out a lot. We deal with this parable and stuff a lot. But now we really going to be able to put it into perspective and now hold ourselves accountable. All right? Matthew 25, verse 14.
The book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 14.
Come on.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country.
So this man traveling into a far country is Christ ascending into the third heaven. Read.
Who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods.
So we are his servants, right? Those of us in this truth, laborers in this truth, we are the servants. And he delivered unto us his goods. Read.
And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability. And straightway took his journey.
Right. So different is not. Don't everybody got this? Everybody got the Spirit, but it's different measures to the Spirit. Some people gonna be utilized on different scales and different magnitudes, but he gave everybody according to their several ability, meaning their separate ability. This person, his strong point is this. This person, his strong point is this. This person, his strong point is this. Take this, do something with it. Right? Come on.
Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh, and reckoneth with them. And so
remember, talents is currency, right? All right, come on.
And so he that had received the 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more.
Okay, so the person that the Lord gave 5 talents, by the time the Lord returned, he brought him 5 talents more. You understand? So he doubled what the Lord gave him, right? Go ahead.
His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
And in Luke 19, that many things is cities. So you got to imagine this, right? Think about it. Think about what Bishop Nathaniel deserved. Think about what Captain Hoshea deserved. Like, think about it. Most High gave them the Spirit. They sacrificed time from their families, their jobs, their carnal ambitions, pleasures, or whatever. And they go so hard at preaching this gospel that congregations sprout up beyond they city where they lay their head at. You understand? And they manage and supervise and set in order these things in different cities in the earth. So imagine what they've earned in terms of heavenly currency. They gonna be rulers over cities made out of gold and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? With the finest of the, you know, not with maintenance issues and the toilets flooding every weekend. You understand? But 5, 10 golden cities. Cause on earth, you follow my vision. You did what it took to bring it to fruition. You understand? You made the sacrifices. You put your hand to the plow. You exchanged those talents that I gave you, and you brought forth more than what I gave you. Go ahead.
Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Verse 22.
Go ahead.
He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them.
So he doubled his talents too. Read.
His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
Go ahead.
Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
Come on.
Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown.
So what is he doing? The person with the 1 talent. What is he doing? He making excuses. Well, I was always at work. You know, I was in the military. I had a disability. Whatever. You understand? Made excuses. Come on.
And gathering where thou hast not strawed.
For real. Hey, listen. You know what I used to tell myself? The story time. Like for y'all see I'm doing the TikTok stuff now, right? I used to be like, I can't do that. It's annoying myself. I'm gonna get distracted, all that evil stuff on there, blah, 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 blah. Y'all know, like, the only time I get on TikTok is to make them videos. Like, I don't spend no time on TikTok because my mind is set to utilize it for the purpose of the Lord. And also, with that being said, the accounts that I'm following is IUIC accounts. You understand? People pushing this truth like me. The stuff that I do watch, if I click a link or do whatever the case, from the people I follow, me watching their stuff, the algorithm that I develop, I'm not going to hop on TikTok and see a big-ass booty bouncing around. But brothers be saying, using that as an excuse not to utilize them avenues to do the work. It's not the avenue, it's your damn mind. Because if you download this shit and get to looking at booties, you're going to mess your algorithm up. And yeah, when you get on it, yeah, your Explore page going to be ass and titties. Since I made the Echoes of the Ancestors accounts on Instagram, TikTok, I have yet to see a pair of titties or ass in my Explore pages, timelines, none of that. So it ain't no excuses. But, you know, you gotta keep it real with yourself. Moral inventory. All right? It ain't the app, it's your mind. Read.
Verse 25. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him.
Now, hold on. Now, remember, he said, I knew thee. The first thing he said, I knew thee that thou art an hard man. So the first thing he did was deflect. He put blame basically on the Lord. I knew you was a hard man, so that's why going back like to the type of excuses I just named. I know you would judge me if I got on there and did this and that.
That's what Adam did.
So that's what, exactly.
You gave me that woman.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't do this and do that when I could have did it. You understand? Go ahead.
His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful
And
servant.
let me say something else too. Because like, all right, you had the brother with the 5 talents, brother with the 2 talents, brother with the 1. I just put it in an example, right? You have a brother, He know how to teach, edit videos. He good with outreach, security, whatever. That's his strong points, right? And he able to train men to do those same things. And you got another brother, he know how to teach and he make music, right? Then you got another brother, he can't remember scriptures good. You know, he's not a work with the hands type of guy or whatever. But the Lord or a brother or a sister, brother blessed them with a good job. What do you think is the purpose of that? If the 5 talents brother is laboring in terms of works in the body, right? The 2 talents brother is laboring in terms of works of the body, pushing his truth. Your thing is you have a substantial amount of funds. What do you think the Lord gave you that for? Was it for you to dig it in the earth, meaning by your night? Basically, you know what they do, right? They get them a $2,000 mortgage. That's probably cheap. I'm speaking Arkansas language. They get them a $3,000 mortgage. They get them a $1,500 car note. They get them all type of furniture bills and fancy technology in their house and all of that, to where I ain't got much. I mean, I'm struggling like you're struggling. I only got this much in my account. You want to see my account balance? You understand? For real. That's what. So just imagine, right? And this is how I want to be. Lord's will. It's hard to do this with a wife, though. It's women, it's crazy. And this ain't no slight to my wife. I'm just saying in general. But if I can make it, not making much, but it got a decent, live like a decent household, decent car, and etc., and I can get by. If the Lord bless me to elevate, triple, quadruple my income, my wife able to double, triple her income, why can't we just live the same? And now all that extra income can go to the Lord, to this truth, to do all type of projects and movements and missions.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's the. So if the Lord bless you on the fun, you not a strong teacher, you not a video editor, you understand? You not an IT, you not a none of this or this and that. Just think, like, why? What can be my contribution? Why did the Lord not make me with the young lungs and the young legs? You understand? The retaining mind. But my bank account make all these brothers look like my sons. What am I supposed to be doing here? And that's just one example, but I'm just trying to put it into perspective. We all got to examine ourselves with this thing. Because you might have a talent and you doing a little something with it, but you ain't multiplying it. You ain't really striving to multiply that talent. And to not just you, but you trying to spill over. You trying to make that brook turn to a river. Brothers ain't doing that. Brothers ain't taking the time out to groom men and train men to replicate themselves and so on and so forth like you could. All of us need to be examining and making sure. We got to put ourselves in this parable, in this scenario. What you going to say when the Lord pull up? What did you do with the talent that I gave you? Nothing that he gave us was for ourselves just to benefit and take pleasure of carnally. You understand? Nothing. If he gave you a talent, a capability, some type of mental, whatever, a physical, whatever, it was for his vision. What did you do to utilize that talent, that gift for God's vision? You're going to have to give account for that. Now read on.
His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not straw.
Read.
Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers.
The very least you could have did was put my money in an account where it accrues interest. So it adds a little bit on to what I get. That's the least you could have did. Go ahead.
And then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury.
Read.
Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents.
So you know what that says about this person? This person was selfish. This person used the talent that God gave him, the talent that God gave her, for themselves. Because if they would have just put it in an account in parable talk, Christ would have been able to receive some. Basically, okay, I'm not doing nothing, but I'm going to put my money in his pocket. You go here and do what you wouldn't have been able to do without these funds. So you invested into another moving part that Christ will get increase from. That's the least you could do. You understand? Okay. Read.
Verse 29. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance.
So everyone that hath shall be given. Meaning the Lord gave you talents. The Lord is going to give you rewards. Right? Why? Because it said he shall have what?
And he shall have abundance.
Go ahead.
But from him that hath not,
meaning you did not multiply your talents. You did not give it to the exchangers to accrue any interest. You didn't do nothing what God gave you. Go ahead.
Shall be taken away, even that which he hath.
The Lord going to take his spirit. The Lord going to take your worth of getting the kingdom from you. You're going to be worthless. Go ahead.
And cast ye the unprofitable servant.
There you go. Unprofitable, worthless, same thing. Synonyms. Cast ye the worthless individual, the worthless spirit. Read.
Into outer darkness.
Unto what?
Into outer darkness.
It all come full circle. They never reformed their mind. You understand? It became illuminated. They continued to walk in the darkness that the white man had set up. They continued to walk as other Gentiles in the vanity of their mind. You understand? They was never illuminated to the point to see the vision and contribute to the vision. Cause then they would have invested into the kingdom and reaped from that. But they was consumed by darkness in this world. That's what you're gonna get in the next one. That's what you're earning. Go ahead.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So there is a severe judgment. You understand, from not expanding your mind and not exchanging your talents. When we know the end goal, right? Or the promise is through us doing what our forefathers did, expanding our minds and exchanging our talents. We're going to receive the inheritance of the saints, the riches of his glory. You understand? And in the process of us working towards that latter goal, we can achieve and do so much here. That's why you see all these sanctuaries all over the earth. You understand? We making stuff happen on the way, en route to the kingdom. But if you ain't doing nothing to contribute to that, how the hell you think you going to earn what's beyond them gates? Come on, man. So, brothers and sisters, listen, we got to, and we go into several dimensions with this class. You understand? With the concept. But just in terms of nation building, in terms of this mission, this gospel, and the things that we could do together, unified, and taking care of each other, looking out for each other. Like, you read that in the book of Acts, and they was in Roman captivity, just like us. They was under the fourth beast. Wasn't that the fourth beast? And they, what did it say? They sold their houses, land, and gave distribution, and everybody was, there was an equality. Why we can't do that? Why we want to one-up each other? Like, what the hell? Why sisters ain't got a damn network, a damn assembly line of the, like, all the sisters we got in the body, like, we should be every week just racks of clothes in this joint. know what I'm saying? Should be racks of clothes, garments, and stuff. For real. For real. Brothers, we should be next door neighbors. What we doing? We should all be next door neighbors. What the hell is we doing? Ain't no brother been able to employ another brother yet? What the hell we got going on? Do you know who your forefather is? And we not, brothers ain't got no education. Brothers ain't got no, what the hell is we doing out here? We got to expand our minds and we got to exchange our talents. All right?
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, His word, His word, His word.